Hello, today I'm going to be presenting a lower body workout plan that you can do at home. So the first exercise we're going to do are explosive squats. In my opinion, explosive squats are a really good exercise. They train a lot of your fast twitch muscle fibers in your lower body. And there's three variations that I typically like to introduce, each with their own varying levels of difficulty. So the simplest, most beginner-like version is just to do a regular squat, but instead of slowly going up, you actually explode upwards. You don't actually jump yet. That's the second variation. So the second variation is to actually jump for the squat, and in my opinion, it's definitely a bigger level up because before you're just explosively going upwards, you're not actually jumping. But to actually induce a sort of jump and to train your legs in that movement really helps and will really target those fast twitch muscle fibers that you're looking for. And the third variation that I like to do are full range explosive squats. So you do a jumping squat, but instead of stopping when your knees, when your thighs are parallel to the ground, you actually go all the way down. So I guess in a way you could call it a Asian squat in a sense, where you jump and then you land and you go all the way down and then you jump up again. And for me, that has been really good and has alleviated a lot of knee pains. However, it is a very hard exercise on the knees. So I would say when you're just starting out or even maybe are an intermediate, I wouldn't recommend doing explosive squats that way. However, if you are training frequently and you are fairly advanced or like want to try it, I would recommend you to do it with obviously caution because it takes a lot of knee mobility and a lot of knee force for you to be able to sustain that, and probably focus on making a rep range that's not as high, not as like 15, maybe around like the 6 or 7, just to like build up that strength, and later on you can progress further. So the next exercise are assisted Nordic curls. In my opinion, Nordic curls are probably the best way to train your hamstrings at the gym or even at home. And what's good about Nordic curls is that it's full body weight. You can do it pretty much anywhere. I like to use a bunk beds ladder and I put my legs underneath it just to induce that sort of movement. However, there's a lot of different ways you can also do it. The same movement. So one way is to put a towel and you put it under the door and you put your legs there. That could be a really good way that a lot of people can benefit from. Or if you really don't have anything else, you can always have someone hold on to your legs as you do it. I find that variation pretty good as well, and it also makes it so you can do it pretty much anywhere at any time. So we're aiming for 3 to 8 rep. We're aiming for 3 sets of 8. Notice how the rep range is also a lot slower and a lot less, and that's because Nordicals are really hard, and especially if you're doing that right, your rep range shouldn't be really high, or if it's really high, then work to try and make the exercise difficult for you. And one thing to note for Nordic curls are never try to bend your waist. Always try to keep the main flexion point at your knees. And by doing that, you'll shift a lot of the load to your hamstrings instead of your lower back. And also flex your glutes. This will induce a lot of the load to your hamstrings as well. Oftentimes, if you don't flex your glutes, you won't be able to maintain a straight torso, and you won't also able to give a lot of tension to the hamstrings and make them work. So the next exercise after the Nordic curls are donkey calf raises. So we're gonna do 3 sets of 20. Donkey calf raises, like I said in my bodyweight exercise video, is a really good way to target the calves. I go for a relatively high rep range just because I feel like, especially for calf raises, I only really feel it when I go to really high volumes. Again, we're focusing on slow and controlled tempo. We're not trying to rush the exercise, and we're also trying to contract the calf during the entire exercise. Oftentimes, if you do it too fast, you can actually end up forcing the Achilles heel to take most of the load. And donkey calf raises also provide a lot more benefits than regular calf raises because it goes through a full stretch. And if you're looking to level up, you can also stack some books below you that make your heels go underneath your toes to induce even further stretch. So the next exercise after donkey calf raises are lunges. So we're gonna do three sets of 12. So there's a lot of variations of lunges you can do. I just like doing standard forward walking lunges. I find that lunges are a pretty good exercise. However, there's a lot of things to note. Is that you shouldn't be feeling the load and you shouldn't be feeling the movement purely in your front leg. You should be feeling it equally distributed between your front leg and back leg. And typically, if you're not, it's probably because your knees are going past your toes and shifting all of the load there. Or it could be a form issue in which your torso isn't moving straight up and straight down. In fact, it's moving in a curve, which is typically very common, or even just in a diagonal line. So I'll tell you to perhaps film yourself and make sure to look at your form and see what you can correct before trying to do a lunge or do it in a workout, because obviously it won't be as beneficial, and it doesn't really matter how many reps you do or how many sets you do. If you're not doing them right, you won't be able to get a lot of the benefits. And also, similar to the squat, we're seeking for a slow and controlled tempo. We're not looking to rush through the exercise. We're looking to build up strength gradually and make sure your muscles contract for a longer amount of time to induce muscle growth and strength build. So the final exercise are sissy squats. We're going to do 3 sets of 12. And like I mentioned in my body weight, my lower body exercises, sissy squats are really good and really beneficial for your quads, particularly your front quads and your knees, because it goes through a full range of motion and it really induces a lot of stress on the knees. However, as it is a predominantly knee focused exercise, I would recommend you to slowly progress to this and don't try to force it, especially if you know that you're going to have knee pains. Don't try to push yourself all that bad. So yeah, this is my lower body workout plan. I hope you can incorporate some of these exercises into your own workout plan. Or if you have any other suggestions or find any other flaws or like exercises that I should be including and you guys are missing out on, feel free to link it into the comment section. Thanks for watching.